Now let's look at some specific profit killers. First up is employee turnover. We appreciate that you're probably in a cycle of high employee turnover. That seems to be how the world of childcare works. And as we discussed in a previous lesson, hiring can be a complex and expensive process. Job site ads, training, overtime for employees who have to cover multiple shifts, and subcontractors are all expenses that mount up. It's estimated that 10 to 15% of your payroll costs are spent on employee training each year. One way to minimise the amount of hiring you have to do is to try and retain your existing employees. There's a whole array of reasons why employees might want to leave. Let's take a look at some common ones. Employees might be dissatisfied with their professional development and career growth, overwhelmed by their job responsibilities, experiencing a breakdown in communication with their employer, feeling that their manager is unsupportive or lacking in team leadership, wary of being undervalued or unrecognised by their employer, unhappy with their level of compensation, resentful of a negative work culture, seeking a better work-life balance elsewhere, unsettled by the departure of fellow colleagues, ready to move on because of outside factors. As you can see from this list, many of the reasons employees move on are either directly or indirectly related to leadership and the company culture you create. Let's take a look at some ways you can reduce employee turnover at your childcare business. Hire the right people. Carefully screen job candidates by clearly defining job duties and expectations, and don't rush to fill open positions out of desperation. Instead, take your time to find people with the right skill set and attitude. Offer competitive wages. Childcare work is one of the toughest jobs to do, so offer fair wages that reflect the responsibilities of the job. Set milestones and reward employees when they're met. Initiate great communication. Being a good leader involves being receptive to feedback and attentive to the needs of your employees. Ignore potential problems like employee burnout or a negative work environment at your peril. Your employees will respect you more when you deal with issues head-on. Show genuine appreciation and respect. Recognise your employees' hard work, dedication and excellence of your employees with genuine praise, team celebrations and meaningful rewards. Take care of your employees. Provide strong leadership, a shared team vision, generous benefits, including paid time off, mentoring and an honest desire to see your employees reach their full potential. Try implementing these steps and your team's loyalty will be a comforting reassurance you're doing it right. The second profit-killing cost is marketing. Marketing is a beast of an expense. In theory, the more you spend, the more customers you should have, but that's not always the case. So it's crucial to measure how effectively your money is being spent to see if you're reaching your marketing goals. One issue we see with marketing spending is clients proceeding without a marketing plan. You need to think about how many new customers do you want to gain? What's the time frame you will be working in? How much money do you have to spend? The more thorough your marketing plan, the more confident you'll be of realising your goals. Another issue is having no defined budget or going over budget. You need to work out how much money you have available to spend on marketing and then keep within budget. A third issue is spending money on the wrong types of marketing. This can be a costly mistake for small businesses. You might be able to gain the same number of new customers with a modest ad campaign on social media as you could with an expensive print advertisement in your local business bulletin. So why spend all that extra money? Also, don't underestimate the effectiveness of free advertising like word of mouth recommendations and referrals from parents. The fourth issue we see, and the most common, is not evaluating your marketing campaign to determine if you're getting a return on your investment. Your marketing decisions should be based on hard data. Look at how much money you spent and how many new customers you gained. Calculating your cost per lead and your acquisition cost per child will help you see the strengths and weaknesses of your current marketing strategy. It's also a good idea to look into how parents are finding you. For example, when clients make an appointment to schedule a consultation with us, our intake form asks how they heard about us. 24% come from referrals and 57% come from webinars, events and conferences we've been part of. So if 81% of our leads come from these two sources, shouldn't we focus our marketing dollars there? Absolutely. We've created referral programs for our current clients and advertise with Chris Murray and the Association for Early Learning Leaders, AELL. And this brings us to marketing issue number 5, ignoring your competitors. We hear from clients regularly that they don't pay much attention to what their competitors are doing. They want to focus on customers, not competitors. This is understandable, but it can put you at a disadvantage. While you don't need to emulate other childcare businesses in your area, you should know what they offer and what they don't. If the centre down the street closes at 5 p.m, advertise that you stay open until 6 p.m. If the centre down the street doesn't offer potty training support, advertise that you do. If the centre down the street doesn't offer food or snack services, make sure parents know that you do. It's also important to know what your competitors charge their clients for. What are their late payment fees? What are their late pickup fees? Do they charge an annual supply or registration fee? Knowing the answers to these questions can help guide you on what to charge for these items. Moving on from marketing, another profit drain that we see far too often is money spent on unnecessary fees and expenses. Credit card fees and interest are killers. They can easily create a cycle of debt that's hard to climb out of. Before you spend more money than you bring in each month, try to find ways to cut costs instead. Think about how much you're paying in bank fees and overdrafts. While $15 per month may not seem like a lot to pay for your checking account, that's $180 per year. That's more than your Hulu subscription, and chances are you're getting more value from Hulu. Shop around and find a bank with no fees that will pay you interest. And if you're a fan of the Profit First system, meaning that you have 5 bank accounts set up to do different jobs, awesome. But if you're paying overdraft fees because you don't get money into your operating or payroll account in time, go back to one account. Overdraft fees are costly, but overdraft fees when you had the money in the bank, just not in the right account, are completely avoidable. And lastly, what would a conversation about wasted money be without discussing subscriptions? When was the last time you actually used that software program, read that business magazine, or gained value from that subscription? If you don't manage your money carefully, you'll find yourself paying for things you don't actually need or use to run your business successfully. Make a date with yourself once a month or at least quarterly to review your expenses in detail and identify a minimum of 1 to 2 things that you can get rid of. Remember, constant diligence is the key to effective cost management.